Okay. Yesterday, we have seen some part of elements from. Any difficulty in understanding types of elements from, depending upon the time duration, immediate elements from or immediate causation, remote causation, and depending upon the effect, there are also two types of elements from. So one is a general causation where or general elements from where the effects are seen at the level of whole body, and one is a particular causation when effect is seen only at the level of a specific part of a body. And we have taken example of, I think, arnica. Arnica general causation is elements from mechanical injuries, even if it is received years ago. That is the general causation, and the particular causation is soreness of a specific part after receiving the trauma. Then we have also taken example of silicea. Silicea has a general causation, bad effects from suppressed food sweat, different complaints in silicea will develop after getting this food sweat suppressed. But if head is exposed to cold air, there will be coryza. So that coryza as a effect of cold air is a particular causation. Then we have also seen that this elements from is also related with susceptibility, and that's why elements from is given such a importance. Before I begin the next part of elements from, anybody has any technical difficulty of listening to the voice? I have given permission to unmute yourself, but don't unmute your mic unnecessarily. It causes voice problems. I can listen to you, what you are doing in your home. I hope everybody is attentive, listening to the lectures. Any difficulty? Difficulty so far? So in this week, we have seen few terminologies like disposition, diathesis, elements from. So today we will differentiate, or we will try to understand whether these terms, elements from, causation, causative, modalities, which are used, they are conveying the same meaning, or they convey the different meanings. So these terms, initially we'll see this term elements from is popularized by S.C. Allen. Causation is a term used by J.H. Clark. If you study the practical dictionary of homeopathic materia medica by J.H. Clark, after the initial part of each remedy, there is a special heading, causation, and Dr. J.H. Clark gives a list of various causation, and this causation in organon, there are different meanings that I will not enter upon. And then there is one more term used, is a causative modality. At the first, let me tell you that these three terms convey the same meaning. That means it is a factor which is responsible for development of a disorder or disease. And this causative modality term is used by M.L. Dhawale. Do you know this name of Maharashtrian homeopath? Emil Dhole is basically a very renowned homeopathic physician, a pioneer of homeopathy in Maharashtra, responsible for developing lot many new concepts, newer concepts in the field of homeopathy. And this Dr. Emil Dhole in his book of Principle and Practice of Homeopathy, he has used this term causative modality, and while mentioning about the Materia Medica, how to study the Materia Medica, he further emphasizes that we must learn the causative modality of various remedies. And so we'll understand what is this causative modality. Uh, we'll first go word by word. So the modality, what is the, we know the meaning of causative. It is something related with causation. Then modality, the word modality is related with modal, and the meaning of modal is affected by mode, and the meaning of mode is a manner of doing something. So this is a chain of words. So from one dictionary meaning, I have jumped to the another word. From that word, I have jumped to the another word. So causative modality is causative is related with causation. Modality is related with the word modal, and the meaning of word modal is affected by mode, and mode means a manner of doing something. If I am taking lecture very seriously, that is my mode. If somebody is taking lecture in a very jovial way, it is his mode of taking lecture. If somebody is speaking very hurriedly, it is his way of talking. Somebody is talking very slowly, it is his mode of talking. So I think you understood the meaning of mode is a manner of doing something. So now, in what sense this terminology is used in the homeopathic context? It is used in a context that it is a condition which modifies. It is a condition which brings certain changes, and with this sense or with this context, it is also used in a homeopathic materia medica. Positive modality means it is a condition which brings certain changes. It is causative modality means causing to change, and which further means it is a factor bringing or responsible for a change. A factor which is bringing a change, or a factor which is responsible for a change. Now, what is the causative modality of taking lectures on this platform of Zoom? Can anybody tell me? If anybody can tell, then I will understand. You have understood the meaning of this word causative modality. What is the causative? I'm again repeating the question. What is the causative modality of taking online lecture on Zoom platform? I'm waiting for the answer. Anybody can unmute voluntarily and give the answer. Okay, then I will force somebody. Aditya Ugle, can you tell the answer? Aditya Ugle, Gitashri, Abhang, Divyashri, Bedse. Nobody is listening. I am also talking. Okay, no problems. Ikra, the last hope of response is Ikra Khan.
Yes, sir.
So, have you understood my question?
Sir, yes.
Huh. What is the causative modality of taking lectures on this Zoom platform?
The causative modality is to responsible for a change. So you are taking lecture to make a change ना कि हम लोग समझे हमारा.
हाँ हाँ, लेकिन मैं ये जूम के ऊपर क्यों लेक्चर ले रहा हूँ? लेक्चर हॉल में क्यों लेक्चर नहीं ले रहा हूँ?
क्योंकि सर अभी हमारा है ही नहीं है ना ऐसा कि हम आ सकते हैं हमारे कॉलेज में और लेक्चर्स अटेम्प्ट कर सकते हैं.
क्यों नहीं आ सकते कॉलेज में?
Because of this pandemic,
Sir,
sir.
due to this pandemic,
Okay, so the causative modality of taking lecture on the Zoom platform is what? Corona pandemic. So
Yes.
then I think you have understood the meaning of this word. So causative modality means a
Yes, sir.
factor which is responsible for a change, a factor which brings out certain change, and in homeopathic sense, it is a cause for a development of disorder or disease. And so when we understand the meaning of this term causative modality, everything is same. Elements from causation and causative modality. And why I'm teaching you these different modalities having the same meaning? Because of your oral examinations. Because so many examiners coming, they have habit of confusing the students by using the different terms. So remember, even though the terms are different, meaning is same, and don't get confused with this different word. Okay, so at this point we will understand what is the difference between causative modality versus modality. So we have understood the meaning of causative modality, and we have also understood the word meaning of modality. Modality means it is a related to mode. It is a related to a condition bringing out a change. So in our homeopathic materia medica, there are these two more terminologies: aggravating modality and ameliorating modality. So I just want to differentiate these three terminologies: causative modality and aggravating modality. What is the difference? And causative modality and ameliorating modality. What is the difference? So to understand this difference, just focus on this diagram below the causative modality. Now I have drawn two arrows. Now this horizontal arrow indicate that this horizontal arrow indicates a complaint. It indicates a disorder, or it indicates a disease. And this vertical arrow indicates a factor which is operating in the body. So in the causative modality, what happens when a factor operates or when a condition operates in a body, then there is a development of disorder, disease, or complaint. Before this factor, there is not disease. Before this causative modality, everything is healthy, everything is all is well. But after this causative modality, there is a development of disease. So this is a diagrammatic representation, you can call it, of a causative modality. And then we will see the diagrammatic representation of aggravating modality. So again, this horizontal arrow indicates develop a disease, a complaint or disorder is in a body, and it is in a body. Okay, first let me explain you what are this arrow. This horizontal arrow indicates the complaint, disease, or a disorder which is present in the body. This vertical arrow indicates a condition which is operating in the body. And then this arrow, the vertical arrow, indicates the intensity of the disease. So in the horizontal arrow, the disease is going on smoothly in its own progression. And when there is a factor which is operating on the body, and after that factor, what happens? The intensity of that complaint or that disease intensifies. The intensity increases. So this is aggravating modality. Now, what is the difference between this aggravating modality and causative modality? The difference is, again, you focus on this vertical arrow. So in the first figure, this vertical arrow represents causative modality. In the second figure, this it also refers to a modality. But before causative modality, there is no development of a disease. Once this causative modality operates on the body, then there is a development of disease. In case of aggravating modality, the disease is already present. Remember, the disease is already present in the body, and a sudden factor or a sudden condition operates in a body, and then the intensity of that complaint disease is intensified. I will take an example of Materia Medica. Now, this disease is coryza. Remember, this horizontal arrow indicates coryza. Now, in case of aconite, the patient is very much healthy, or the person is very much healthy, or the prover is very much healthy. And one fine day, that prover is exposed to a dry, cold north wind. And up to that point of exposure, there is no complaint. But after that exposure to north, dry, cold wind, there is a development of certain complaints. It is an example of aconite. So in case of aconite, the causative modality is exposure to dry, cold, northern winds. Okay. Then I hope you have understood the causative modality. And then again, there are a few remedies, like say Dulcamara. In case of Dulcamara, already there is a coryza is existing because of some other cause, and along with that coryza, that prover goes, exposes to dry, cold northern winds, and then after that the intensity of that coryza increases. So in the first example, ailments is, or the bodily disorder is originating after the development or after that factor operates in a body. In case of example of aconite, that exposure to dry, cold northern winds brings out the coryza. It is responsible for developing a complaint. But in case of Dulcamara, already the disease is existing. The coryza is already existing because of certain another cause. And when with that complaint, the prover is exposed to dry, cold northern wind, the intensity of that coryza is increasing. And so in the Dulcamara, this dry, cold northern wind becomes aggravating modality for coryza. But in case of aconite, same dry, cold northern wind becomes causative modality elements for or causation for that coryza. Is it clear the difference between causative modality and aggravating modality?
Yes, sir.
Any difficulty? Komal?
No, sir.
Gitanjali Abanga.
No, sir.
In next week, I will ask, remember, what is the difference between causative modality and aggravating modality? Then everybody must be able to answer. If it is clear, then we will see what is the difference between causative modality versus emulating modality. So, can anybody tell me what will be the difference? Komal, can you tell me what will be the difference between causative modality and emulating modality? If you have understood the difference between causative modality and aggravating modality, it is very easy to understand the difference between causative modality and emulating modality. Can anybody tell?
Sir, when the factor enter into the body, the intensity of the disease will decrease in ameliorating modality.
Okay, okay, very good. And in causative modality,
The intensity of the disease intensified, increased.
this is what modality you are talking of.
Aggravating modality, sir.
Okay, then what will be the causative modality?
In that the disease is not present in the body, and when the factor enter into the body, then the condition of the disease develop.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much. That means you understood. Has everybody understood the difference between causative modality and aggravating modality? Then we'll understood what is difference between causative modality and emulating modality. Again, focus on this picture. There is a horizontal arrow and vertical arrow. Horizontal arrow in both this figure indicates complaint. The vertical arrow indicates a condition which is operating in a body, and then this downward vertical arrow, it reflects the decrease in the intensity of that complaint. So in case of causative modality, when the factor is operating in a body, there is no development of disease. But after that factor operates in the body, then there is a development of disease, that is causative modality. Then in emulating modality, what happens? Already there is a complaint, there is a disorder, or there is a disease, and then one condition operates in body, and as a effect of that operating condition, the intensity of the complaint becomes less. That is ameliorating modality. Is it clear the difference between this modality? Don't confuse. So, example in homeopathic remedy. Again, that aggravation from ailments from exposure to dry, cold, northern wind. In case of aconite, will be responsible for development of coryza. In case of aconite, but in case of remedy like Tarantula hispania, the same factor will bring out amelioration in that coryza. So in case of Tarantula hispania, the coryza is ameliorated after going to dry, cold, northern wind. Is it okay? Is it clear? It is just what the effect they are producing, whether they are responsible for development of disease, or whether they are responsible for increasing or decreasing the intensity of complaint. That is the difference between this causative modality aggravating modality and ameliorating modality.
Sir,
बोला.
sir, can you explain again the amelioration modality?
Okay, it is who is talking? Let me know. Diveshri.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what is your query? Have you understood causative modality?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Have you understood what is causative modality and aggravating modality?
Yes, yes, sir.
So, aggravating modality means what? A factor, a condition which intensifies the already existing complaint. So here the word is different. The symptoms develops after a condition, that is causation or causative modality. And when a condition increases or decreases the intensity of already pre-existing complaint or disease or disorder, it is aggravation and amelioration, or it is aggravating and ameliorating modality. The difference in between these two modality is what? In case of causative modality, nothing is existing at the time when factor is operating in a body, and when in case of aggravation amelioration, complaints are existing already before that condition operates. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So it is only this whether it is already existing or whether it develops after that condition. That is the difference. So I am ending this meeting here with the one more term. We will start with the one more meeting. Okay. Before that,
Yes.
there is one more slide. So what is the elements from scope, merit, and importance? We'll see. Just give me 1 minute. So we'll see what is the scope of or importance of this terminology, elements from. Yes, it forms the core of conceptual image or a drug picture of a remedy. Core means what? Core means a very, 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 very important factor of a remedy. You can't create a drug picture of a remedy without that causation. So there is a question in your question paper where you will be asked to write down a drug picture of Calcarea carb, drug picture of Calcarea phos. So at that time it is very mandatory to write down the causation or elements from of this remedy. So it is the core. Core means center of a drug picture of remedy, without which this factor, the drug picture or a conceptual image of a remedy, will be totally incomplete. And by just knowing this elements from, you can develop certain drug picture in your mind, or you can also create certain images of a remedy in your mind. I will not talk upon this conceptual image, but for the timing, you just remember the conceptual image is nothing but the drug picture. It is altogether different concept, but for the timing, it is conceptual image is equal to the drug picture, or it is equal to the image of a remedy. So it is a very specialized concept that we will see when you come in the final year while teaching repertory. So for the timing, you just remember the elements from is very important. It is the center of the drug picture, without which you cannot complete a drug picture. It directly reflects the susceptibility of prover. So it is very much important. And this elements from indicates only few remedies. If you study this elements from and the number of remedies having this elements from, you will have very less remedy. For example, coryza or discharges from nose. A huge list of medicine is there in our Materya Medica, but discharges from nose because of eating cold things, the remedy list becomes very less. Uh, Developing coryza after exposure to dry, cold, north, south wind, again the list of remedy is same. The coryza, Prasad Dinkar. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I think screen share has stopped. Okay, no problem. So the coryza before menses, it indicates very less remedy. So the study of these ailments from gives us a very less number of remedies, and which further aids in the study of homeopathic Materia Medica in individualization of few remedies. And lastly, as it is a direct information collected from prover, it is very much important. Now, up to this ailments from whatever terminologies we have studied, all these were indirect information. No prover is coming and saying to us that write down, this is my diathesis, this is my temperament, my disposition, or this is the sphere of action of this remedy, etc., etc. But this is the direct information which is given directly, which is collected directly from the prover, and that's why the scope of these elements from in the study of homeopathic Materia Medica is very much. 2 minutes remaining.